Welcome back to the Dragon's Lair, everybody. My name is Wade, and this is a part of my show Playtest. So, this is an episode 0 for a series that I'm going to be doing where I play Fallout 4. Now, if you're not familiar with Fallout 4, it is a great game that I love. Many people love this game. It is 10 years old, so it was released in November 11th of 2015, and sorry, November 10th, and it takes place in this science fiction post-apocalypse. All of the Fallout games take place in this science fiction post-apocalypse, just different years or different locations in the world. So it's a Bethesda studio game. So it is an open world game where you take on quests and you do main story quests and side quests, and you can get involved in all sorts of things, people's lives and the politics of the game and what's going on, and pick sides, and there's factions and all sorts of stuff. um, so it's a single player game. If you're not familiar, you're probably familiar with it, but if you're not, I just want to give you some good info. Like I said, it's an action RPG, science fiction. You could say that there are some horror elements to it because the future is a little dark in different places for different reasons. It is. It takes place in the year 2287, primarily in the Boston, New England area. There's a fair amount of going into cities, and there's a fair amount of like walking through the wilderness. Obviously, the map can't be gigantic, but it's pretty big. So one thing that I liked is that you can change the perspective. You can do it first person, you can do it third person. There's just a ton of options here. Like you can do melee builds, and you can do range builds, and you can do everything in between builds. There's a ton of, they call them perks. So like in D&D, they might be called feats. Other games they might be called skills or talents. In Fallout, they're called perks. So you gain XP, you level up, and then you gain perks. And then you use those for a wide variety of abilities, which is really cool. So it's 10 years old, and on its 10th anniversary, they actually put out a mega patch. Basically, they like updated a bunch of the graphics, and they fixed a bunch of bugs, and they just did a ton of stuff. It was free to download. I grabbed it up, and that's when I kind of got the idea that I wanted to play Fallout 4 for YouTube and share it all with you guys, because that's what the Dragon's Lair is about sharing stuff that I love. And I do love this game. I love this game series. It's a part of a really big franchise. Fallout 76 is the newest game in the franchise, but people are talking about Fallout London, which would be super awesome. Can't wait for that, if that's real. If that's real. So, like we said, it's made by Bethesda. It's open world. There's just a ton of space. There's a lot of stuff that you can do. Basically, every object. So, because Skyrim is newer, I'm going to talk about relate it to Skyrim. It's basically the same as Skyrim. Like every object everywhere you can pick up and take, and with Fallout you can like take those things apart and then make other things out of them. You can make robots and buildings, and you can just build all kinds of stuff. You can also do a lot of mods. So you can mod your armor to get different abilities. You can mod your weapons to get all kinds of different abilities. Weapon modding in this game is a lot of fun. Right there, I'm looking at the workbench where you actually do that work. This is just, a video right here of me playing the game. But this video right here takes place in season 2. I'm doing 10 episode seasons because I didn't want to do like 50 straight hours of Fallout. I did that with They Are Billions, and I thought it was okay to do once, but I'm probably not going to do that again with really big projects like Fallout or Skyrim if I play Skyrim all the way through. I've never actually beaten Skyrim. I got like 80 hours in, and and my PS4 died. So, anyways, um, it's got a 9.5 rating on IGN, and I know in recent history there's been a lot of talk that gaming studios pay for good reviews to inflate the optics on their games. So maybe you value that, maybe you don't. I do listen to a lot of IGN reviewers, not because I completely trust everything they say, but because it's kind of like a yardstick. If I look in 5 different places and it's all got good ratings, I might check it out. And another thing about game reviews, you might disagree, and that's completely cool. Like there are reviews that I've read, and it's like, I don't like this game because it's too much like StarCraft 2. I love StarCraft 2. So if a game is a lot like something that I like, then I probably like it. And so I think it's just worth looking at multiple sources to sort of form your own opinion. But anyways, there are 6 DLC for this game, and probably like 3 of them just add more that you can craft. But 3 of them open up like big new parts of the world to explore with all sorts of quests and factions and new guns and new equipment and new. There's enough where you could get like 200 hours on this game to really do a lot of stuff. You can beat the primary story within 27 to 30 hours. I'm probably gonna take 50, um, between 40 and 50. And like I said, those are gonna roll out in 10 episode seasons. So this is episode 0. So season 1 comes directly after this. Once again, that rollout comes on Mondays. Sorry, it comes on Wednesdays and Fridays. Mondays is my wild card where you can see just about anything from my channel, my other projects that I'm working on. Um, so you can play this on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and you can get the Game of the Year edition that has all 6 of the DLCs included in it. You can probably get a pretty good price. My first Google search came up with $69, but you can no, no, you can probably get it for much better than that. Um, but I think it's really worth it to get all the DLCs and everything, just because there's so much more game now to your game with so much more game. Which might be why I go 50 hours on it. Ooh, I might come back to it later and do some of the DLCs. Anyways, I gotta think about that. But what's interesting and different about this time playing it through, I decided I wanted to do a role playthrough. So I don't do an intro like "Welcome back to the Dragon Slayer, everybody." I don't do an outro like "Thank you for spending your time with the Dragon Slayer." I've pretty much done that on every video I've ever made, and I don't do that because all of the time spent filming, I am talking in character. Like I am the person playing this game, and that this video is like my video blog, and I start talking to it as video blog. But as I'm kind of like talking to myself out loud. I throw in extra banter with NPCs, um, but I really enjoy the role playing playthrough. I want to do a role playthrough of Skyrim. I'm probably going to do that with Red Dead 2. Bigger projects like that is probably what I'm going to do. I have an interest in it. I'll send a link to this with this video. I am using an exploit. If you're really paying attention when I open my Pip-Boy, that's the Pip-Boy there, where I can increase my stats basically all the way up to the max. I do it slowly. So like for season 1, I do 10 stat increases. Season 2, I do another 10. Season 3, I do another 10. I haven't shot season 3 yet, but so if you're paying attention, I get exponentially better at everything. And I just wanted to play the game. I've beaten the game a couple of times already, but I wanted to play the game like in God mode, where I'm like super awesome. So I figured that would be fun to watch. I just think it's a really fun game. If you haven't checked it out and you're looking for a palate cleanser, maybe it would be something to look into. Like I said, I'm doing this role playing playthrough. Never done anything like it before. I think it's a really cool idea. I'm not seeing anybody else doing it. And I really enjoy it, and I'm excited to share this with you guys. We here at the Dragon Slayer understand that you could spend your time anywhere on the internet. I want to say thank you for spending your time here with us at the Dragon Slayer.